Another Golden Globes have come and gone, but forget all the winners and losers. Clearly, the best moment of the night was when Vin Diesel acknowledged the feud between him and The Rock. But for real, there were certainly some winners and losers of the night. I think the biggest winner and shock for me is how much momentum Emilia Pérez really has, which is baffling because I still have yet to see many positive things about this film. It is one that I did not particularly enjoy, but yet it led the night in wins. Right behind it is The Brutalist, which is a film I unfortunately don't have any opinion on because it is still not released anywhere near me. But that is always the interesting thing with the Golden Globes, is that it really doesn't dictate too much of where the Oscars or other award shows are going to go, and often it does really more say of who has the momentum currently or what story needs to have a comeback. Like, there certainly were years where the two winners of Best Motion Picture Drama and Musical or Comedy would be the two going head-to-head for the Oscar, but we have seen multiple times now within the past 10 years where that is not even the case. There is often a third party that comes in and wins the whole thing. And so I wouldn't necessarily rule out any of these other films, but I do think this is a strong indicator that The Brutalist and Emilia Pérez currently have the strongest momentum. As far as the losers of the night, unfortunately, one of my favorite films of the year, Anora, just came up with absolutely nothing despite it seemingly having a strong chance in many awards. Specifically, Mikey Madison losing to Demi Moore, which is not one I'm completely upset about because I do think Demi Moore winning for this horror film is quite exciting. But I think Mikey Madison for a lot of people was a lock. So the fact that Anora lost that, it lost Best Director, it lost Best Musical or Comedy, I don't really know what to make of that, especially for its Oscar chances, because it was already kind of an odd front runner. So I think we have to start asking the question, is this going to be the start of its downfall? The only lock I would say for sure within every single category here is Supporting Actor with Kieran Culkin. I don't think there's a shot anyone else comes close to him. As far as Best Supporting Actress, I think Zoe Saldana beating Ariana Grande wasn't completely surprising, but I do think that really lowers the chance that Wicked has at many other awards. And then there's Adrian Brody beating out Timothée Chalamet, which again isn't really surprising if you're paying attention to what's happening, but you have to wonder, is he just going to be the automatic frontrunner moving forward? And going back a little bit to Wicked, it did win the Box Office Achievement Award, which is still something I do not understand at all, because last year it kind of just felt like, okay, Barbie made the most money this year, so let's give it this award. Wicked did not make the most money this year. In fact, I don't even know if it made top 3. Like, we had a movie that set the record for highest animated film ever. We had a movie that set the record for highest R-rated movie ever. So I just don't really know what this award is supposed to be other than this participation trophy where they want to award a movie that they feel is deserving but isn't going to win others. And so I do feel bad for Wicked because chances are they're going to receive quite a few Oscar nominations, but it's leaning like they might not win any of them. As far as other things that stood out to me, Best Animated Feature went to Flow, a movie I unfortunately have not seen yet, but I think that was a little bit surprising because not a lot of the mainstream movie-going audiences have even heard of this film yet. I think The Wild Robot was kind of making a good play for it, so Flow could be this underdog to look out for. And then there's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross winning for the score of Challengers, which is a score that I absolutely love, and I really hope this does continue because Challengers it needs to receive some love. It is not getting nearly as much credit as it deserves during this award season. And then there's Conclave, which technically only won for screenplay, but I do think that is a rather significant one. Because if there is this battle between Emilia Pérez and The Brutalist for Best Picture at the Oscars, Conclave might be this neutral film that does rise up because it has a little bit of everything and there's not really anyone who dislikes it. But who really knows? Like I said, the Golden Globes really doesn't mean all that much when it comes to how the Oscars are going to land. And at the end of the day, none of these award shows really matter at all, but if we are going to watch them, at least make them fun, and I thought this one was pretty good. Apologies to the TV, though. I'm so out on what's happening on TV, although I did watch Baby Reindeer and quite enjoyed it, so glad it got a win. But yeah, those are some of my brief thoughts on this year's Golden Globes. We'll love to hear yours. What do you think was the biggest surprise of the night? Are there any movies that kind of came out of nowhere and now have a stronger chance in award season? Please comment below, and I will see you next time.